Green, 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 green.
Yellow? FACEIT profile. Certainly, I'll be there right away.
Bing. So, Zoot, you are known for commentary, so let's just dive straight into that. So, what do you enjoy about commentary?
All right, you asked tough questions right at the beginning, but I know I enjoy all kinds of it. I like there being hype. I don't know, it's just the entertainment factor which I think is good. I'm not prepared for this question at all, but I guess I kind of like being in front of the camera.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you a spotlight? Do you need the limelight?
It's not like I crave it. I have social anxiety problems and I cure it by going on the street. No, I just like being able to bring the action and hope that I can contribute to a community I love in one way or another.
Did you do anything before your commentary with games, which maybe in school, did you do some speaking or anything, or is it just completely new experience, just something you just did with gaming?
Well, I know I was in some bands when I was younger. I mean, I have been on the stage before, but not really in the kind of the central role. So that's why the gaming commentary was kind of a very new thing for me in respect to that. But no, on the whole, really, I was a very quiet person up until, well, probably still am up until the last couple of years.
What has your journey been like from start to finish?
Well, maybe
you're not exactly there. You go.
Well, from the start, I guess I kind of really started commentary out because it was kind of just a test. I saw a couple of other people doing it. It was back in the days of Quake Live TV, had all the American guys, and then you had, of course, Level Up being very active then. I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try. I kind of just said to a friend of mine, Dan5, yeah, this is something I'd give it a go, but with no real intentions of doing it properly. It was just like a joke almost. And then next week he says, you know what, you can go cast now. I've organized it for you. I was like, what? And I did it so badly. I was casting on my own. I was like, I've done such an awful job at it. I have to keep going. I have to persevere, and I have to be better at this to prove to myself almost. But really, it's been a journey since then, kind of learning about community responses and what you can do. I mean, to please as many people as possible. You can never please everybody, but for me, it's been just a journey for improving myself and really getting to know everything else better.
I mean, you seem to also be someone who had definitely a lot of criticism to deal with, as you say, learning about the community. How did you manage dealing with criticism from the community, and how did that factor into you and your commentary career?
I mean, it was really something I could never avoid. I was kind of new. I haven't really been watching esports stuff since 2009, so I'm very new in those regards. But no, it's something you just have to, you've got to take any kind of hit, and you've got to keep going, and you've got to take the criticism and turn it into something positive that's going to help you out. And I was lucky enough, I managed to talk with a lot, and eventually meet up with a lot of very experienced players. I learned a lot that way. And really, I just try to hoard as much information as possible so that I was always presenting something decent. So
what would you say are your strengths and weaknesses as a commentator?
Feels like a job interview now. I think my strengths really, I guess, is I don't know if I could really say it, but obviously English is my native language, and I feel there's obviously a lot of casters around Europe, but I feel like because I'm casting English, I feel like I'm fairly confident speaking in English, and even though I make no sense at all sometimes, I feel I can kind of get away with it in that regards. But I don't know, my strengths, maybe because I really do have a passion for the game. I keep on playing it, and I keep wanting to talk to people outside of commentary. Maybe that's a strength. And weaknesses, I've never played at a pro level, so I know people often say stuff like this, but that's why I try to get people like Ince, obviously yourself, and others who have played at that level and can bring that other aspect of the game along with and put it next to my cast.
So with your thoughts on strengths and weaknesses, what would you say is your approach to improving, being actively improving with commentary?
Just got to keep listening to the feedback. You can never brush aside. If someone says something you don't like, you can't just flame back at them or anything. You've just got okay, and you kind of notice trends in what people are saying. If one person says something you don't like, it might be slightly meaningless at that point. But if you start getting repeat occurrences where those comments are getting said quite a lot, then it's like, okay, I've really got to do something about this part of my commentary, this part of my game. And you just hope to get as much feedback as possible. And it's really difficult when you're not getting that negative feedback. It's nice to have positive feedback. It really makes you feel good and feels like you're doing the right thing. But if you're getting a lack of negative feedback, you need it there. So otherwise, you're not going to be improving at all.
And actually, thinking about improvements and so on, because you've been doing this for a while, do you think you hit any walls at any point? Do you think, because for example, I think you definitely made a lot of like positive strides when you had like a boot camp, as it were, in FACEIT.
Yeah.
You definitely made a lot of improvements. So what do you think about this?
To be honest, it was really mind blowing for me, because when I first started casting FACEIT right at the beginning in September, I already thought, hey, well, as my cocky self, or maybe a little bit too confident in my own abilities, I thought I was already decent. And so I'd already done a Quake, DreamHack, whatever. And then a few months down the line, it came to January, and then both you and I, we started looking at VODs, like old VODs, and we realized, oh my god, what the hell has been going on?
So bad. It was so bad.
And things had changed so much. I was like, wow. And it almost made me wish, I kind of wish I didn't do Quake, and DreamHack, just because I feel like if I do it again, I'm going to be bringing 3 times more to the table. So, it's just crazy.
Yeah, that's cool. Was there a commentator or someone that you modeled yourself after when you were learning to be a commentator?
The early stages, I really liked people like Jahag, Reese Scotsman, just a bunch of American guys, Fish Sticks as well, I listened to. And then, of course, I also listened to the Too Good and Joe Miller combo, which is, unforgettable, really, at this moment in Quake. And, I guess I've modeled myself on them. So, I kind of, as I've gone through for other corners of esports, I've looked at other commentators, and really, at the moment, my main... the guy I try to model my casting on a bit is actually a Dota 2 caster called AC, you may have heard of. And I think the way his voice, channels his voice, and the way he manages to just string together the most ridiculous catchphrases and metaphors, and he just does it with no hesitation whatsoever. For me, it's impressive. It's something that, is one of my current casting idols, if you can call it that.
Okay, so is there any advice you have for the aspiring caster, someone who, like you, is like, I kind of want to try this? Is there like one good bit of advice you can throw at them?
I've actually had a couple of people telling me that they want to get into casting, and they've asked for feedback. But I think of one thing to say, you got to prepare yourself for the haters. To be honest, I think that's it. It's don't take it all too seriously, and take it as a good thing.